When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission, coming for the top.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at that.
Right at the convergence of the three rivers.
Ready? 90, Wolf. Check, 55, come on. I got one.
Aldridge to throw. Off the play fake. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Nick Bosa able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Heinz Field has always been a tough place for field goal kickers. It's just a very heavy sod, plus you've got an open end of the field with wind coming off the Allegheny. And sure enough, he kind of chunks this one, and it's no good.
A good pickup of 6 there on first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Pass and now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Justice Hill 50 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 5-yard pickup that time on what will wind up being the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Back to throw. Aldridge. And he's got his man. That's Fountain. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They run the counter. Samuels. And a short gain down to about the 33. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Carr now on first down. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield to a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On second down, here's Barkley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And the grab by Croft. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And he rifles one incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
That was a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
That really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. No gain on the play there. Second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs.
Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And an alley to run. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now Aldridge looking to throw on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Looking to throw. Aldridge, throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back to throw. Aldridge. And Fowler's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Looking to throw. Aldridge throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, and he fires one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point safely through. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Carr. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number 1. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. Aldridge, a final shot before break. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually use their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them big.
Absolutely. Had them pinned on the 2. Not anymore.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get One mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Aldridge now on 1st and 10, and that is incomplete. Jordan Leggett, the target there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Here's Aldridge on 3rd down. Over the middle this time to Fowler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
Aldridge to throw. Off play action. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. N'Keal Harry, 30 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Let's go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice, get rid of it, live to fight another down.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they're going to face a big third down.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, in the tight end position. Is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this third quarter of play. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From midfield now on second down. Carr. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down.
You see me? You see me?
And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fowler. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. N'Keal Harry was the intended target. 3rd down here. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
This pass complete to Reynolds. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within one score.
All hope not gone yet, but at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within one score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back for them for one last big drive.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A give to the fullback on the dive. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
Back to throw. Aldridge. Oh, he stays up. And shedding through the tackle. Lacey's got the first and a little extra. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball. On the situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the script.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 4 yards out, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win? And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Carr going to throw, and this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down. The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
On the give, this is their fullback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
And now a carry here for their fullback. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
That's it, baby.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Looking to throw. Aldridge. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even there, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr, and this is going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? Let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Steelers, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on